fear. We're on our way down. We must take America back. Main Street to Wall Street, cities and states, Washington, D.C., before it's too late. We need leaders who lead us, not stick us and bleed us, then ransom our future and our children's, that's wrong. We must take America back as liberty weeps, our forefathers spin in their graves. Pray God will bless some way out of this mess. We must take America back. Lord knows they'll try to silence our voices. They'll pretend to be patriots, fighting for fairness for all. But they're not even fit to hold office. What they believe doesn't fit with freedom at all. We must take America back. Main Street to Wall Street, cities and states, Washington, D.C., before it's too late, there's not long. We need leaders who lead us, not stick us and bleed us, and ransom our future and our children's, that's wrong. We must take America back as liberty weeps, our forefathers spin in their graves. Pray God will bless some way out of this mess. We must take America back. Fight for freedom, and the soul of the USA. Right here, right now, it's Independence Day. We must take America back. Main Street to Wall Street, cities and states, Washington, D.C., before it's too late, there's not long. We need leaders who lead us and heed us, who stand for what's right and stand up to what's wrong. We must take America back, now and forever, with God in His rightful place. Then He will bless and protect the U.S. We must take America back. We must take America back.
Steve Voss, and we must take America back. That's for all you patriots throughout America and that have served in past and present wars, have had loved ones that have served honorably, and thank you so much. You know, to me, it's always just a sight to be seen if you we have a VFW and you see some of the grave posts and you see some of these old guys coming in and kneeling or making sure there's nothing in the way of the grave, you know, where they're dusting it off, and just the respect and the pride of remembering their loved ones and those that they gave. And I just really wonder how many of leaders go into Washington and think about imagery like that, because that always gets me every single time. And, the Pledge of Allegiance, I mean, it's just moving. It's just moving. We live, folks, in the greatest country on God's green earth. We have problems, don't get me wrong, but, when you watch TV shows over the weekend, and I watch, other things besides just news, but I like informational. I like smart TV. like documentaries and stuff like that, where you learn stuff. But we've always known that South Korea has been pretty bad. But I was learning over the weekend through satellite imagery, and we know now that Kim Jong-un, the young leader there of North Korea, is going to be launching his sixth nuke test within, could be any day now. And because we study them with satellite, and the imagery is just unbelievable. I mean, very detail-oriented. You can see people walking around. I mean, it's really amazing what satellites can do these days. I mean, they really have improved. I mean, if we think about it, folks, if we can see planets the way we can see them, and now just how far away they are, but we know the composition of planets, they're light years away, we're talking about our own planet here. Okay, so if that just kind of gives you, well, you understand. It's unbelievably clear. We know movements that are going around, and when they're getting ready to do a launch, they're going to get ready to do something. But this had nothing to do with the nukes. The imagery that I saw over the weekend was these DC. I'm not even kidding, that large. We have tens of thousands of prisoners locked up in hard labor, and conditions are so bad that these guards, or whatever you henchmen, or whatever you want to call them, even after the prisoner is dead, they're still beating its carcass. They're still beating it, even though the life is gone. Do you understand? That's how ruthless, how inhumane. And of course, North Korea, they deny all of this. They say it's just propaganda. How do you know these things? You don't live here. You can't see these things. We've shared the intel. We've showed the satellite, but they still say it's propaganda, that we doctored it. We cooked it up. It's not possible. We don't have it. We've showed the exact geolocation of where it is. We know that it's there. But, folks, my point is, none of us asked where we were going to be born, where we were going to necessarily grow up or become, or who our parents were going to be. And I, for one, are very grateful that I was born here on U.S. soil. Here. Think about that, folks. There's people that, because they spoke up, because the government thought that they were a threat, put them in these camps, and they have no life. They are brutally abused, and abused in every way possible. The most inhumane things that they do there, with removing teeth and eyebrows and eyes and everything, just torture, pure torture. I just can't imagine, but that's what they do. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at these camps. Absolutely deplorable. And this continues to go on. And that people have said, during the news show, how does the world body, how does the United Nations allow the stuff to happen? And it is perplexing. It's just mind-boggling. I mean, if the UN Security Council, if they can't do anything, who can? Who can save the day? Who can save the day for all of these prisoners of the state that don't deserve this, don't deserve that treatment? And, man, would they not love to be in a U.S. jail? 3 hots in a cot, telephone calls, you can get an education in prison, you can get a degree, you can get multiple degrees in prison. Did you know that? Over here in the great U.S. of A., you could be any religion. They'll allow you, if you're Muslim, to have a prayer rug, and they'll even face it to the east and allow you to pray. If you're a Christian, you're a Jew, whatever, they accommodate you because you have rights. You don't have rights over there. And so many other places on the planet, you don't have them. You follow suit on what they do. That's it. So these are the kind of things that I think about, folks. I've had a wonderful upbringing. More or less, not perfect, but I'd say wonderful compared to most people around the planet. But I'm grateful. And if you've served in the military, thank you very, very much for allowing us these type of freedoms. But at the same token, it does disturb me to see those images and just know that that's happening. And now I do know more than ever that this threat with North Korea, it's going to have to be handled. Diplomacy is not working. Tillerson says that all options are on the table. Like I've said, I've shared multiple times, and it's not a big mystery with our U.S. Armed Forces, but we do have a military that's very well armed with items. If you read in the 1950s, in the 40s, with Russia and coming up with technology, the Philadelphia experiment, we have some amazing tools that we could use on them. We have such an arsenal that they wouldn't even see it coming. They wouldn't even see it coming. And they can isolate it to where it doesn't kill the people in the South, believe it or not. Oh, yeah. I would think just a giant EMP, take out all their electricity. That'd be kind of cool. But there's other things they can do. Who knows how they'll handle it, but it'd be nice for these atrocities to stop. And they're all over. It's not just their China and how they deal with their people. Saudi Arabia, and those people are not the most favored on my... they're getting radicalized. These idiots are getting radicalized over in Saudi Arabia. You heard last year when we reported about, where 9/11 victims, they can sue the Saudi king now and the Saudi government. And then they said, well, now you can't. We're going to protect them. What are you protecting them for? You just wonder about some of these shady deals that haven't been great for America, making deals with these idiots and kowtowing to them. I am tired of taking one up, the rear. I'm tired of it as this American. I'm tired of it. I've worked too hard. And too many of my family have lost their lives. Sons and daughters in wars. They've never come back. And it's upsetting. We are sending more troops. There's an announcement that's made, 200 more to the Middle East to fight the good fight. And they're going to Iraq, more or less. Yeah, well, it's not immediately clear where roughly all of them will go, but it's 200 altogether. The decision by Army Lieutenant General Stephen Townsend and the top commander of the U.S.-led coalition charged with running the war against ISIS on the ground. The two companies from the U.S. Army's 82nd Airborne Division are being deployed to the Middle East to bolster security in either Iraq or Syria. At the request of the top American commander, Baghdad fighting ISIS, and a U.S. defense official with knowledge and order. Well, he pretty much told Fox News this a little bit earlier today, but the prime minister of Iraq basically said within a week or so they should have ISIS gone. That's it's pretty, but they need our help. They need our help. We've trained them for years, but they still need our help. And what does that tell you? What does that tell you? We have such an amazing military that the world looks to us for leadership. We have the most bravest soldiers on the planet. And they know why they're fighting. And what they're fighting for, they appreciate it. And they fight with everything in them, and it's to protect their families back at home, the most important. Our kids, your kids, our future. We'll be back.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people, for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
The internet is a big place. but 123 Ready TV